The F1 world thought Red Bull's 2026 engine project was a suicide mission, but after Barcelona testing, Mercedes and Ferrari are the ones in a state of absolute panic. Here is why the RB22 is the ultimate game changer. The greatest gamble in Milton Keynes history. The Formula One world held its breath as the green flag waved in Barcelona, marking the start of the most uncertain era for the Red Bull team. For years, they thrived under Honda's glory, but for 2026, they took a step many considered technical suicide. They decided to build their own power unit from scratch under the Red Bull Powertrains banner. This wasn't just a supplier change, it was a high-stakes gamble against global automotive giants like Ferrari and Mercedes, who possess centuries of collective experience. Thousands of moving parts, an incredibly complex hybrid system, and the risk of a humiliating public failure loomed over every inch of their workshop. Many observers predicted a massive disaster, but what was revealed on the track would permanently rewrite the F1 power map. The underdog story turned into a display of absolute engineering might. The miraculous debut of young matador Isack Hadjar. The silence of the circuit shattered as Isack Hajar rolled out of the pit lane in the mysterious RB22. Initial expectations were incredibly low. The team merely hoped the car could run without catching fire on the first lap. However, what followed defied human logic.
Presenter TV host. Hajar didn't just perform a simple installation lap. He pushed the car relentlessly, devouring the Barcelona asphalt as if this engine had been in development for a decade. By the end of the first day, over 100 laps were completed, with a fastest time that stunned everyone in the grandstands. Hajar admitted to being awestruck by how smoothly the power was delivered, stating that this first in-house engine performed far beyond even the most optimistic projections. Red Bull wasn't just surviving the transition, they had just sent a definitive signal of war to the entire world. Absolute reliability, shaking the rivals' confidence. In the modern era of Formula One, it is almost impossible for a brand new engine manufacturer to appear flawless on day one of testing. History records many engines exploding or suffering sensor failures within minutes, but Red Bull Ford shattered that curse with almost mystical reliability. It wasn't just the main team succeeding. Their sister team, Racing Bulls, experienced the same sensation through Liam Lawson. With a total of 88 laps without significant issues, Lawson confirmed that the headline of the week wasn't just speed, but a rock-solid engine durability. The issues that did arise were merely minor safety precautions rather than fatal mechanical failures.
This success left rival engineers breaking into a cold sweat, realizing that Red Bull had skipped the growing pains phase that usually takes years to overcome in just a single night of running. Mileage dominance, destroying conventional logic. Numbers never lie, and the data from the Barcelona testing week presented a terrifying narrative for Red Bull's opponents. The combined efforts of the two Red Bull Ford-powered teams recorded mileage nearly equal to established giants like Mercedes and Ferrari on the opening day. They managed to vastly outperform the efforts of Audi, who had been preparing their project much longer but found themselves trapped in embarrassing technical glitches. While other manufacturers struggled with engine temperatures and system integration, Red Bull soared with a total distance of nearly 3,000 kilometers by the weekend's end. The fact that a first-time manufacturer could immediately compete in operational efficiency with brands dominant for decades is a complete anomaly. It is definitive proof that Red Bull Powertrains is a force that should be deeply feared by the status quo. The unexpected recognition from rival George Russell. The highest praise often comes from your fiercest enemies, and Mercedes' George Russell could not hide his admiration while watching the RB22 from the sidelines. Russell, accustomed to the gold standard of Mercedes engines, openly admitted that what Red Bull achieved was both impressive and shocking.
He highlighted the sheer volume of laps completed by the new engine, an achievement he deemed extraordinary for a rookie manufacturer. This statement wasn't just Paddock small talk, it was a sincere acknowledgement of the technical genius occurring in Milton Keynes. In a world where drivers rarely praise a rival's machinery, Russell's words served as a stamp of validation. The Red Bull Ford engine isn't just a side project. It is a clear and present danger, ready to snatch the World Championship crown from anyone's hands. Symphony of power, Max Verstappen's fantastic drivability. Pure straight-line speed can be engineered by anyone, but creating an engine that is easy for a driver to control is a high-level art form. The 2026 regulations, which remove the MGU-H and increase electric motor output, create a massive challenge in delivering smooth power. However, Max Verstappen himself provided a testimony that made rivals tremble. The team has managed to hit the ground running exceptionally well. Racing Bull's chief technical officer, Tim Goss, even dared to call the engine's level of control simply fantastic. A predictable engine gives a driver full confidence to attack corners at the absolute limit without fear of wild power surges. This advantage in drivability is the secret key that transforms horsepower into dominant lap times, ensuring the world champion still possesses the most lethal weapon on the entire grid. The crash drama that tested mental toughness.
Tension peaked on the second day when Isack Hadjar lost control on a wet track and hit the barrier hard. The RB22 was heavily damaged, sending a cloud of anxiety through the Red Bull garage. However, herein lies a sweet irony for the team. The biggest failure of the testing week did not stem from the engine, but was pure human error amidst treacherous weather conditions. The fact that their mechanical heart remained intact and functioned perfectly despite heavy chassis damage only strengthened the narrative of their superiority. The team lost a day for repairs, but they never lost confidence in their power unit. This incident proved that their engine fundamentals are incredibly robust. They aren't fighting mysterious internal breakages, but merely need to focus on refining minor details to return to their absolute dominance on the circuit. Perfect integration between chassis and mechanical heart. The true power Red Bull now wields is the ability to unify chassis and engine design in perfect harmony, a luxury previously reserved only for pure factory works teams. By building their own engine, every cable, every pipe, and every cooling component can be placed in the most aerodynamically optimal position without compromising for a third-party design. This high-level integration was the foundation of the long Mercedes dominance in the past, and now Red Bull has unlocked that same secret. They are no longer a customer who must fit the car's shape around someone else's engine.
Now, the RB22 is designed as a single organic entity, where the engine and aerodynamics work in mutual support. This technical edge allows for incredible efficiency, giving them those crucial fractions of a second in the hyper-competitive world of F1. Ford's hybrid might, the secret weapon from America. The partnership with Ford has proven to be much more than a marketing strategy to slap a logo on the engine cover. The American automotive giant brings massive expertise in battery technology and electric motors, which are the core of the 2026 regulations. With new rules requiring a 50-50 split between internal combustion and hybrid power, Ford's knowledge has become an invaluable asset. While other teams are still figuring out how to manage complex energy flows without sacrificing reliability, the Red Bull-Ford collaboration seems to have found an elegant solution from day one. The synergy between Red Bull's racing intelligence and Ford's electric innovation resources has created a hybrid monster ready to devour its competition. It is a marriage of European racing tradition and American electric innovation ready to shake the foundations of the automotive pyramid. A clear threat to the Formula One status quo. Red Bull's extraordinary success in producing their own engine has sent shockwaves through the paddock and placed immense mental pressure on their competitors.
They have proven that with the right resources and genius minds behind the scenes, a newcomer can immediately threaten the old guard. Teams like Audi, who suffered major setbacks during testing, now look at Red Bull with a mixture of envy and deep concern. A new standard has been set, and it is so high that many doubt whether other teams can bridge the gap before the season officially begins. Red Bull doesn't just want to win races, they are building an independent dynasty that relies on no one. If these attempts into the future, we may be witnessing the start of the most absolute dominance ever seen in the history of the Formula One World Championship.